Manjit Singh Sahota on production of natural gas. Manjit Singh Sahota states, natural gas is extracted from oil in the United States, as is the case with infrastructure, and there is no economic incentive to transport it for sale from the well. Natural gas prices in the United States are low, and natural gas infrastructure cannot keep up with the rapid expansion of oil production in the region, resulting in a 50% increase in torch prices in 2018 compared to the previous year. 3 U.S. producers make almost all of their money from oil in this case, so the gas involved is not worth putting on the market. In addition to the challenges, oil and natural gas production in the U.S. have soared over the last decade. U.S. natural gas production was 34.4 trillion cubic feet, TCF, in 2020, the highest annual amount ever. The majority of the increase in production since 2005 is the result of horizontal drilling and hydraulic fracturing techniques in shale, sandstone, carbonate, and other narrow geological formations. About 80 to 90% of the natural gas used in the United States is produced domestically. Natural gas is extracted from both onshore and offshore sources of natural gas, oil, and coal. U.S. natural gas production decreased in 2020 due to a decline in drilling activity in exchange for lower natural gas and oil prices due to a decrease in demand resulting from the response to the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2020, dry natural gas production in the United States was about 10% higher than total natural gas consumption in the U.S. The increased gas-oil ratio of gas basins is a major explanation for recent production growth. According to data from the Federal Association of Natural Gas, Petroleum, and Geoenergy, BVEG, domestic natural gas production in Germany fell in 2020 by 16% year-on-year to 52 billion cubic meters, covering a good 5% of German natural gas consumption. Subsequent declines in drilling activity in early 2020 have reduced Permian production, leaving less pipeline capacity available for flaring. Bakken regulation has played a big role in recent reductions. Regulation of U.S. oil and gas production is crucial for the United States to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions. The steady state of gas production from horizontal wells is discussed by the authors of this book, which will be published in 2019. 5. Regulations in this sector must take into account local air and water pollution, the impact on the community, and two issues of particular importance for climate change: methane emissions and flaring. While most natural gas and oil wells are onshore in the United States, wells can also be drilled on the seabed or in waters off the U.S. coast. Hydrocarbons are produced from petroleum and natural gas that naturally occurs in rocks in the crust of the earth, and are formed by the compaction of the remains of plants and animals in sedimentary rocks such as slate, limestone, and sandstone, which themselves are byproducts of deposits in ancient oceans and other waters. Natural gas, also known as fossil gas or naturally occurring gas or hydrocarbon gas, is a mixture of methane, including varying amounts of other high alkanes, and a small amount of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, hydrogen sulfide, and helium as an energy source, and as a chemical feedstock for the production of plastics and other important organic chemicals. Conventional natural gas and renewable natural gas, RNG, can be compressed and liquefied. CNG, for use in vehicles, is also an important raw material for the production of ammonia by the Haber process and is used in fertilizer production, and can also be used to produce hydrogen, one of the most common methods being hydrogen reformers. Fischer-Tropsch FT produces crude synthetic oil and refines the end product into methanol and gasoline, MTG, to produce synthetic gasoline from natural gas. Gas production units consist of indirect heating, separators, skids, connectors, pipelines, and operational instruments. Natural gas futures traded on the futures exchange of the CME Group are not measured in cubic feet. Futures contracts are based on 1 million British thermal units, MMBTU, equivalent to 970 cubic feet of gas. Under a similar convention, the term MMCF means 1 million cubic feet of gas. The companies list their oil and natural gas reserves on the same BBL and MCF terms as the amount of oil and gas they have in the ground. Reserves are used to assess the company and provide projections of its revenues and earnings.